I want to talk about an underrated topic in Qigong or and Neigong, Tai Chi, and meditation in general is retention. Seminal retention is more than just holding back, ejaculation in men or controlling the menstruation in women. It's it's about the art of eliminating distractions in your life so you can have a strong, healthy practice. These distractions I'm talking about are causing leaks down the lower body, out the sex organ, out the anus, out out the senses. They're leakages because you're not storing and letting the energy go up and helping you have a more successful practice and a more successful life. Think of it as like holes in a bucket. They're just, the water is stored in the bucket, but it's leaking out. And it's draining your life force. It's draining your ability to have a successful practice and attain higher samadhis or higher experiences in your practice. So we want to eliminate compulsions and bring higher consciousness to ourselves. And so these leakages, we're addicted to dopamine. We live in a society where we're addicted to dopamine spikes, whether it's coffee, whether it's being on the internet or social media and getting some kind of special attention from people, or having junk food or drugs, getting high, or masturbating, watching internet porn, all those things. They're distractions to your practice, and you're gonna have to rise above it and seal those openings in the bucket. So then the water will flow upwards to the higher centers like the heart and the third eye, and find self-realization at your crown. They say 40 drops of blood equals 1 drop of semen. So if you're losing semen every day or every other day, you're weakening your Jing, and then you're weakening your Qi or your prana. And with that said, you're weakening your life. We want to channel the energy upwards, not down and out. And you want to be able to try to hold it for a week or more, maybe even up to a month. So we want to work on the higher pleasures of life. The higher pleasures of life I'm talking about are like long-term investments. You want to be able to do positive things in your life. Like you want to practice your meditation, practice your Qigong, practice your Tai Chi with discipline. And all these things are going to bear good fruit. Like going to the gym and eating good. Versus the lower pleasures in life. Like having junk food, doing drugs. The trade-off there is there's no health. You're not going to be healthy. You're not going to have a healthy practice. Because you're just addicted to spikes of dopamine. And, you really need to be committed to practice. You need to withdraw and renunciate and internalize your intention to really have a solid, deep practice. So yeah, it's important. You're going to have to try to work on the seminal remission for 2 weeks, up to a month. But don't be hard on yourself, and don't judge yourself, and don't fight yourself, and don't be too serious about it as well, because you don't want to be obsessed and about even holding in, your semen or your Jing. So it's probably safer to say Jing, because both men and women have those things. So maybe Jing retention is maybe a better thing. So to have a successful practice, you're going to have to practice, 1 to 3 hours a day. You're going to have to maintain the health of the body with healthy eating. You're going to have to discipline the mind. You're going to have to be steady and try not to stick to the opinions of other people. And just keep your practice private. You don't need to go around advertising and telling people, oh, I'm practicing this, I'm practicing that. Just keep your practice private. And be careful of the influences around you. For instance, get rid of the internet and get rid of people that clutter your mind. Another thing is important is to be emotionally healthy. You're going to want to find resolution in events, deep, painful events in your life, like maybe the death of a loved one. You're going to have to find peace in trauma and anger. You're going to have to know that the negative will pass and you can move on from it. Another thing to think about is just treat people with kindness. One of the views of the Buddhists is to treat everyone as if they were a mother in the past life. I know it's really hard to do, but or just think of everybody as a reflection of you. Or like the Dalai Lama says, just use unconditional love. That's a very good one. But be real. Don't be pretentious and fake. There's some kind of spiritual, I can't remember the name, but it's when you pretend like you're so spiritual, but you have real problems in your life that you haven't even resolved. And you don't need to act like a master or higher than other people. Just be real and humble. And be committed to your practice. Like I said earlier, withdraw and renunciate. Internalize your intention. You're going to have to clear the mind before you practice. And so, you're going to have to clear all thoughts until you find, true contemplation. And you're going to have to ask yourself, what is real? When the people teach you about Qigong and Neigong, or meditation, pranayama, or samadhi, and all these things, you're going to have to ask, what is real? You're going to have to find what's real for yourself. And semen retention is one of those things that you're going to have to explore and understand internally. Because our whole idea is to commute with the absolute, whether it's, you call it Tao or God or Buddha or Nirvana or the Wuji state, which is beyond our body, that our mind finds this union with. That space where there's no thoughts, there's no self. You're going to have to be devoted to the process. So with that said, this is just my little talk about semen retention. Again, the art of eliminating distractions from your life. Blessings.